Bed plays games.
Hello Pioneers, I hope you're well. My name is Bed, and this is the Satisfactory Plus mod for the game Satisfactory. On the last video, I got this comment here, which was great, and it says, would it be possible to make a glass walkway looking down at the inner court with all the trees and such in the middle towards the spire? That might be cool. Pretty sure what they mean is a glass walkway between this spire being the space elevator, I'm pretty sure. And if that's not what they meant, that's how I took it, and it inspired me to say, yes, that's a great idea. And one of the reasons I love that idea so much is because we can incorporate a few things into this. For one, a glass walkway to look at these beautiful vistas that we can see, and the landscape, which is just really cool. I've really enjoyed playing in this little biome here. I've forgotten the name of it. Dangle Spires? It doesn't matter. Yeah, but also we can incorporate things into it like power and network movement, and we don't have to worry about trains for this. And additionally, we can have hypertubes. And the reason that that tickles me so much right now is because up there where we're going to be receiving the crude oil and turning it into purified crude oil and then shipping that out, you know, I talked about sending it over, say, to there, or we could even send it over into the next tower, or even go all the way back there. It doesn't really matter. The point is, though, once I get that train loaded up and I send it and I have to go over there and build, right? Like, what if I mess up the train? And now I have to go back over here. And I am so sick of running back and forth. So if we set up a glass walkway and we incorporate power movement, network movement, and hypertubes, then right here in the center, like I mentioned in one of the very recent episodes, this could be a hypertube cannon hub. And I just love the idea of that. I want to be over there. I want to jump into a hypertube cannon, land right here in a second, and then get to that one. So in 2-3 seconds, I've now gone everywhere I need to go instead of running back and forth. Yeah, so that being said, I need to come up with a design for it, and that's what we're going to do on this episode. I was also thinking that we should probably have an R&D area. That is to say, in one of the factories, we should probably have a permanent blueprinter. So we're going to build that first. I'm not going to decorate that room because that's not the purpose of this episode, but we will decorate it eventually, obviously. That's where I've been using the Blueprinter Mark 1. And I think this level that we're standing on right now is the level that I'm going to have the hypertubes come across, and then this will be the hub right here. The only issue with that, and I promise I'll shut up and do some Satisfactory stuff in a second here. The only problem with that is that I already have that the oil factory and stuff like that already built kind of right there. So I don't have room on that level right there where we're looking to build like a hypertube hub area. So I'll either zoom it up to the next floor, and then for this one building it'll be up there and the other buildings will be down here, or we'll figure something else out. I'm not really too worried about it. I don't mind if every single thing is custom. Not everything, not every single tower has to be hooked up to the hypertube hub in the exact same way, right? It just doesn't matter. And I think it'll be cooler if they're not all exactly the same. Now that being said, let's build a blueprint that's going to make it easy to build these walkways. But let's think about what we want. The commenters suggest using glass foundations, and I think that's a great idea. Well, they said walkways, and it's not in foundations. It would be like glass frame foundations here. Alternatively, we could use flat roof materials and turn those glass. So we do have a few options when it comes to glass flat, horizontally flat things as opposed to windows. Betelgeuse, Canopus, Deneb, Aldebaran. And I don't know why, but saying those 4 names of stars out loud, which are the names of the 4 pillars of Tetra, which are the 4 buildings surrounding the space elevator here in the middle, Aldebaran sounds the most like the center of R&D to me. It's not based on anything, it's just kind of how it sounds. So let's do it. I want to design blueprints this episode, not build walls. So I'm not going to do I'm not going to make any rooms or anything today. I am going to run some power though, so we can easily use the blueprinters. And I don't even need all 3 blueprinters. I would like the number 3 one, but I don't have enough steel screws on me right now. So let's just go with a Mark II blueprinter. Should be plenty big enough. And actually, it's not so big where I will lose hover pack in the center, I don't think. There. One of the benefits of doing this right here is we can sort of test it right here as well. So, what do we do first? First, we need to figure out what the floor is going to look like. So, glass frame foundation is one option. It can be oriented that way. It can be oriented that way. Or we can do flat roof and then make it glass. Okay, when I was putting it down, immediately I thought this is my least favorite. Right, like this I don't like. I didn't like the beam going this way. But now thinking about walking, kind of like that beam right there. It gives me something to point at while I'm walking to keep me straight. And I do like that as well with no beam whatsoever. It has the most slightest lip on it. You can still walk up and down it. 3 wide seems better than 1 wide. I don't like that there's that gap. Can you see that as I fly by? I don't like that. Maybe this changes things. I don't know. Kind of like them both. What about roof? Flat, in glass, 2 wide instead of 3 wide, and placed thusly with that thick border on the outsides and a thin border on the insides. Now this I like. Nice clear views. It's not 3 wide, but it's wider than just 1. Still has the gap. Just fine. I suppose we could probably put like a beam. Or put a beam like that to fill it in if we wanted to, or like that. No, I hate that. I'm just gonna ignore the gap, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Let's do it to it. Let's take a 1 meter foundation and center it right there. All right, and the walkway has started. How big do we want to make this? If we only make it, 1 or 2 wide, then we don't risk the chance of, if we made it like all 1, 2, 3, if we made it all 6 wide and we only needed to fill in 2 at the end, but we have to paste in, in multiples of 6, that seems less than ideal. Now, if we're carrying power and storage network, cables and hypertubes, where are we gonna put all that stuff? Maybe off to the sides, or what? Or below it? Then you obscure your cool view. And I don't really want to obscure the view. Do we even need to make a blueprint? I could just zoop this out, and boom, we're done. And we're gonna want this. We're gonna want these things to look supported, right? So I mentioned some sort of beam would be in order, or we could use this larger one. This just looks way too large. Yeah, it looks way too large for the size and scale of this thing. It's not actually that far from here to there. It's only, was that 20? I can't remember, 24, 25, 27 foundations apart, so. All right, more importantly is Pioneer safety. So we would definitely want rails, or railings. We could have fenced walls like that. And then we could do what, a roof? I don't hate that. It's definitely not tall enough. It's too squat. Let's take these out and add... Boy, I don't know. This is the decorating type of design and decorating that I'm not as good at, that I wish I was better at. Not sure what to do. We'll definitely want some walls. So let's try one wall, and then a railing. Could use power outlets as... Could use power outlets as like fence guides. I actually don't hate it. So dumb. Let's do it. I love it. Wait a minute. Did I want to put some sort of pillar on the bottom? I think that I do. Put them on the hotbar, right? Yeah, these. So something like that. So there's not enough room with a 1 meter one here. So let's turn this to a... Should I turn it to a 4? Or is a 2 gonna be good enough? Well, let's turn it to a 4 and we can reduce it to a 2 if for some reason we're 2 meters too short on the top. But I can't imagine how we would be ever. Okay, something like that. There, we've got some supports on. Are those gonna look... I think those look good enough, honestly. Alright, now a wall. We'll zoop up 4. No, let's go higher than 4. What am I doing? Why am I taking this out? Just to count. Okay. We're gonna go up at least 8. Something like that. You know what we can do? We can color code them as well once we pick the main colors. If we decide, if it is decided that the color stays, say, red and white for that one, and then we change them, we could have red and white for, say, Cannabis. Or whatever colors we choose for Aldebaran. Alright, let's go to power. We need wall outlets. Is there any reason why a double outlet would look cool? No. I don't think so. Doesn't look cool. There, just run these power outlets across. I'm not going to do both sides until I know that we're happy with it. That would just be a likely waste of time. Okay, what's next? Next we need some more height. So we did 8 already. What if we do 2 more? Something like that? Maybe a metal roof? Yeah, that looks really cool. We don't need glass bottom and glass roof, right? The comment said glass bottoms for looking down at the cool scenery. If we're gonna look up and gawk at the builds, we can just look out the sides here. Alright, so let's build this one like we're gonna run into Canopus, right? So we'll do white, white, red, like that. That's why I did 3 on the top. That's really cool. I'm really pleased with this. I think it'll look supported enough with just that. Alright, let me run power outlets on the other side because I think I like it enough to say that that's going to be the way it is. He says, what if I don't want to just see all the power outlets? Right, like in this case, they're not supposed to be power outlets, they're like a fence. I'm not sure. I do like the idea of covering these up with something. Also realize we don't want one, okay, we don't want one hanging off the back and hanging off the front, because that way, like, this one, and that one will overlap when we try to clip them together. So we actually just want something like that. Perfect. Is this where we want to put hypertubes? And then we could put hypertubes right there. If we have 4 hypertube lanes, now imagine this right here where my cursor is pointing. You know, the start of this. If we've got 4 lines, we could do this one to go east to Deneb, this one to go north to previously known Vega, now Canopus, this one to Beetlejuice, and then this line can go to the center. What saith you? I think that sounds like a pretty good idea, actually. And then, yeah, so if we put right here in this general area of each building, we put the internal factories travel hub, right? So now we can get from travel hub to travel hub or to the center. Now I have to decide, do I want to cover up these power outlets? Because we could probably do it with like something like this. I actually like that hypertube, I think. It's not the most elegant. So here's what we'll do. Let's try to steal a playbook out of last episode. Something like that. Does it even matter? That does look way cooler. Oh, I don't know why I deleted that. I was actually saying, like, yes, that's exactly what I want it to be. Like that, and then like that. Yeah, that's exactly right. So now I just need one more. There, and then like that. Let's remove that hypertube. That's not going to work with our current plan. Do we want... Yeah, we might as well make it a block, right? I guess let's look at it. There. Now what if we run the roof from, instead of that first one, the second one? So first, middle, outside, so middle. And then we'll put, what do we put there? Let's make those metal again. Still just kind of spitballing and visualizing. Now we'll need a pillar. Alright, now we need a concrete pillar so we can color it. Alright. Pleased with the placement. Yeah, I like that. We can do power outlets. Can we do data network like this? I don't know if it's going to clip to this. Uh-oh. Do they clip to beams? What do they connect to? I can't remember all the different things. Sides of foundations. Walls. Walls are good. But I can't rotate them on walls. Can I rotate them on sides of foundations? Yes, I can. Can I put them on roof? No. Do the side of the roof. That's weird. Well, this isn't the end of the world because we'll be able to manipulate it somehow and get it into place. And with the blueprint, we won't have to worry about it again. All right, let me run the outlets now on the second side. Something's not right though. It's not. Something's not inspired. It's just too blocky. I might not be able to do any better though. Oh, I didn't know you could actually. I didn't know you could rotate those. I've never done that before. What's missing from here? Maybe lights? Okay. Oh, it just looks so puny. But maybe that's okay. Yeah, I mean, again, this isn't that far. You know, it's not like we need some huge suspension bridge style build, even though that would be really cool. It's kind of above and beyond what I think that this requires. I feel like I'd be an expert on blueprints now. I just never stop to use them. It's so frustrating because I should use them. Okay. Can I use a beam to hold a facet wall pole? Yes, I can. So is that going to be good enough? Come over to here. Did I do it? I think I did it. It's pretty good, actually. Oh, except it's not centered. What a moron. Such a moron. Oh, wait. What? Oh, wait a minute. Now that I know that has an orientation and I can change it, it's going to drive me nuts on everything that I've got upside down and sideways. Oh my gosh, it actually has an orientation. And look, the facet wall pole will replace a power pole, but it keeps its orientation. I had absolutely no idea that that functioned that way. What a cool and interesting find. Okay, it might not be interesting, but it is fascinating to me, and I think I'm actually going to be able to use that in certain applications. Yeah, I just had no idea you could do that. Oh, so that solves that issue. That solves a lot of issues that I've had trying to run the data network, because these don't necessarily clip to the same things that the power outlets do, but they will simply replace them. Oh. What a day. What a day to be alive. Oh, and you know what, too? I just realized that the orientation is, like, whatever's upright, like the lightning bolt, is pointing up and down in that case, and so it'll follow that orientation. Well, there's a pretty cool way to run more hypertubes. Looks kind of stupid, but I also kind of love it. Now we can, if we move those down, and still have one on the outside where we did before, and it doesn't clip, I should say. I'm not gonna say it doesn't look stupid, but I mean, it's not the most elegant thing ever, but it needs something more, though. It looks like a stupid little It looks like what would be built in Minecraft if I was going to build a plane. This is my Minecraft plane. It just needs a touch more, some other detail, some other splash of color. Yeah, that might be it. Something simple like that. We need light. Well, you know, with lumen, which we don't use, let's just see where we could... Oh, the lights are just so big. I bet you 50 bed bucks that we get more lights with 1.0 though. I'm just kidding, I don't have any bed bucks. I can't actually make that bet. Totally scratch the hypertubes on this part right here. Just run them on the inside. Because then we could put lights on, and lights are so cool. These lights are actually pretty cool. That's cool. But not as cool as it could be. Right? Like clipping, kind of cool, but the light won't show up on anything. It's just gonna drop down into the environment. What I really want is the lights to be pointed kind of inwards. Let's get tilted wall. Let's get a tilted wall that's bigger. Partially overlapping blueprint designer. So it might work if we can... Oh. Oh. I want to see where that light shows up. Save blueprint. Blueprint. Now let's plug in the light. See where it goes. Oops, it's dark now. So that's an option. What if we can use sign? What if we use signs? What if we use like... If we just add an image and then an RSS sign. And we, let's see, make it just brightness. Okay. Where's the brightness controls? I remember it having some, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Here we go. All right, one more idea, because you know what we could do? We could use like beams or something like that to add support. Let's try like one of these walls. Actually, let's try them both. We'll do it on each side. Stop it. Haha. Let's try that. So we could do... Oh, yeah. Something like this, and then tilt it down. Let's see. 1, 2... Actually, let's try it all the way. Let's try it all the way down angle. I'm sorry, words are so hard. I'm sorry this video took so long to come out. The global IT CrowdStrike thing really kept me busy the last 6 days. Like, unbelievably so. Is that gonna ruin our view? Well, no, because this is the shiny part in my eye. So is that, I guess. Should still get nice views, I think. Let's try over here, maybe. So that appears right here appears to kind of be the placement of that one. Wait, no, this has a different slope entirely. So let's not worry. Let's not compare it to the 4-foot so much. Let's take it down like, I don't know, try it like that maybe. I quite like the way that angle looks initially. Let's try light control. Change the colors a little bit. See if they can help us visualize what's happening by maybe applying a different color to each one. So here, that one's for that. Make it red. And this one is to control the light on this side. And we'll make that one yellow. And they look pretty similar. Let me actually make that one yellow. The yellow looks really easy to see. So look at the shadow on this side. Comparing the right one to the left one, it looks like we've got a nice cleaner yellow going further until we hit the shadow right here. So I think that's the perfect spot. Let's go back to daylight so we can see what we're doing. And let's measure how far from the top we are with this one. So we're just below the bottom set of double lines. There we go. And then did we go all the way forward? I think we did. Yeah, we did. It's good to verify these things. Okay, and then... yeah, we can put the same one on this side. Just below the double lines. Lock it into place. There, we've got light. Okay, so... now we've got a floating light, which isn't ideal. So now, let's take a beam. Go one over here, make sure... oh yeah, we are in free form. And then connect it to this thing somehow. Yes, just like that. That's going to be perfect. So one, here's the center. Yeah, we went over one. So go over one on this side. I love it. And we can finish off the hypertube. So now we've got 4 again. And I think we're pretty good. I think what I want to do is save a blueprint like this, and then one without the light, and then we can alternate them. So we don't need to then take the time and delete these 2 beams and the light on the ones we don't want lights on, and I don't think we want lights on every single one. So that's cool. I didn't paint this light. Yeah, then it matches that side. That's so cool. Alright, are we missing anything else that we might want? I don't know. Who cares? We can always fix it later. Let's install some. I was just writing the description of this so I can post it on my Discord, because I share all the blueprints I make in my YouTube series on my Discord. And if you'd like to join my Discord, the link is down in the description below, so come and join us and have some fun. But anyways, just writing this description, and I realized that I took the sign out, and I did kind of like that. So even though we're not going to use it for lighting purposes, because it didn't work very well, I think I do want to include it here. So let's make the sign on each side. Oh, you know what we could do? We could actually use it as a sign. We could say like Canopus and have an arrow, and Polaris and have an arrow. That would be kind of cool, and I don't really use enough signage. I love the way these supports came out, though. I need to start using beams more. because we could make some all kinds of like custom like scaffolding or support wires, things that are different than just like the normal steel. Because we could replicate a lot of... I gotta stop saying... If I can go one episode without saying replicate, I'll give myself some bed bugs. Anyway. Sorry, I got really excited. I think overall it still looks like a Minecraft plane. But I'm really happy with the way these 3 beams and then coloring the sign came together. I think that looks really slick. But anyway, we need to get this episode moving forward. Or, well, honestly, I don't think this episode's going to go much longer. As much as I want it to. I want to take some time probably next episode and design the hubs in each one. And probably do that in a blueprinter so we can just paste it down. So I'm definitely going to want to make a Mark III blueprinter. Let me take a note. Create Mark III blueprinter in Aldebaran. Let me look at my notes so I remember how to spell Aldebaran. I can't even read my own handwriting, but I think that's correct. Alright, that's so we don't forget. Now, let's customize the signs. I want to delete that element just so we start with a bare bones sign. That's kind of cool. How much do you reckon we can see of that? Oh, most of it. If we zoom it. If we zoom it most of the way and then move it up to the top. Can we get it to where we can see all of it? Oh, pretty near. Alright, pretty happy with that actually. So let's add another element. Let's add a text element. And we'll say, let's change the font. Actually kind of like this Orbitron. It's kind of cool. Here, I didn't change the sign in the right spot. Canopus. Should it be in all caps? Maybe, that looks kind of cool. I wish I could just drag it around. Let's call it 80. And then let's get our bearings right. So if we paste them this way, its canopus is to the left. So I was moving the text of canopus to the wrong direction. Let's try 500. Let's try 400. And then raise it up a bit. Looks pretty good actually. Kind of like that. Oh, maybe an even 50. So canopus should definitely be in red because that's canopus's color. Oh, and you know what? I could have just probably changed it like that. What does that do? What does that do? Maybe it changes the capitalization. I mean, it's all pretty good actually. Canopus. Okay, now let's add an image and choose a new image. We want some sort of arrows. Yep, here's a few. Let's see if we can have more chevron-y arrows. All right, let me just stop right there. Tell you that I don't think I love that one. Let's add a new one. I like that first one better. So select an image again. Love the doggo. Oh, I could make a custom one. I could make this entirely custom and I don't think I want to take the time to do that for this though. I like these arrows just fine. I kind of like all of these. Alright, horizontal, maybe -50. Yeah, and we'll turn it up and we'll flip it and we'll go to -100, -300. But now I think canopus, the text is over too far. So what about -200 on that? Whoa. Well, what I was trying to say is I wanted to center them a little bit more, and I think that did a pretty good job. All right, so now on the Polaris sign, we need to do a couple things. We need to switch the arrows. We need to switch the text. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. So the sign is oriented this direction, so canopus is to the left. And then when I pasted the sign right here, Polaris is to the left, so I didn't need to change any of that, which is awesome. Easy. It would have been easy had I not messed it up entirely to begin with. But that's okay, we can redo it, and then here all we're gonna do is make this white Oops, sorry. And we're gonna make that white, and then we're gonna change this one to say Polaris, and this is gonna say, and then this is gonna say Polaris, and then we're gonna make it white, and there. Bed's your uncle. Okay, now we've saved the bridge Canopus blueprint, and we've left it in here. And what we're gonna do now is delete the lights and delete the hypertube entrances and delete the outlets, and the same over here. And then we're gonna save this. Excuse me, we'll save this as bridge to Canopus gap, or empty, or filler, naked. All right, we're gonna have to wrap up the episode in just a moment, but let's put one down first. We'll do one span of it, and then first thing next episode, we'll build all the rest to all of the rest of the towers. Yeah, as anticipated. Kind of had the thought that was gonna be that way. So what do we end up putting it on? 4 meter, I'm pretty sure. So like that. And okay, bridge to Canopus. This way. And I'm almost positive that's the wrong way. There. Yeah. There we go. Canopus, Polaris. So we'll zoom that out. Two, 3, 4, maybe. Anyway, okay, let's grab one more and see how this spacing does it. Let's see if the spacing does it for us. This is what I'm trying to say. Oh man. All right, and there. And battle the autosave. I feel like I can't get anything right this time. All right, so we've got data network, we've got power, we've got hypertube. And just like that, the first segment of our people mover across Tetra is complete. So yeah, sorry, that's probably a pretty boring episode. I've had a lot of feedback of people asking me that they want to see me doing things like designing the blueprints, so we're just trying it. We got to get everything done. I anticipate this series is going to run concurrently with 1.0, because there's no way we're going to be done by September 10th, because I don't want to just get through the end of the content like originally planned. Well, not originally planned, but planned several episodes ago when we talked about it. What I really want to do is finish Tetra. Like, that's my main goal, not just rushing to the end anymore. I want to finish Tetra, so, you know, taking an episode to build a blueprint that's going to give us, like, the ultimate Pioneer movement system and stuff like that is just going to be totally worth it. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below, and I look forward to hearing from you. See you next time. Bye now.
Bed plays games.